What's up, YouTube? My name is Muscle Man Malcolm, and welcome to the show. Today we have New Japan star as well, Fred Rosser. How are you, man?
Mr. No Days Off is in the house, hardly home, but always representing WrestleMania week. It's a crazy time. You know, it's the Super Bowl of wrestling, and it's an exciting time for everyone.
Of course. And we're going to see you at Impact Wrestling in New Japan's Multiverse United. How do you get prepared for a show just like this?
You know, one-on-one, I'm untouchable, I feel. But when you have, 8 guys in the ring, including myself, anything can happen. And it's always tons of chaos when I'm fighting Kratos, I'm fighting Lawler, and meeting 2 guys I've never shared the ring with. You got Joe on the other end, and you've got Eddie Edwards on the other end. So it's going to be off the hook. I cannot wait.
Definitely. And you've been like a poster boy for like New Japan Strong. Like you've been pretty much the guy holding that show on this like on your shoulders and just showing people that why you should be watching New Japan Strong. Why do you feel like fans that aren't watching right now should be tuning in to New Japan Strong?
Well, I always say none of us are strong as all of us. So I'm not the one that's making the moves. I think it's a team effort. That's why we're making so many great moves with the collaborations and all that great stuff. For me, like when it comes to performing, I'm only as good as my last match. So I've been doing some of my best work with New Japan Strong. And I still have a lot left to offer. I still have a lot left in the tank. So yeah, just stay tuned to see what's going to be happening in the next couple of years with Mr. No Days Off.
And it's been about 2 years since you officially signed with New Japan. How important has New Japan been in your career so far?
You know, it's crazy. I think the reason why people are so down and depressed in this world is because they're not doing what they love. They're doing what they have to. And that's what the work world and the workforce does. I love New Japan Strong. It's like my baby, and seeing everyone succeed and seeing everyone come through New Japan Strong and the collaborations, it's a great time to be in wrestling, a really great time. And at this point in my career, I want to be able to spread positivity and bring the wrestling community together, with all the craziness going on with, guys in AEW and, all the stuff that's going on with the fighting and stuff like that. I think it's my duty to bring everyone together, and it's very important to me, especially with my whole Block the Hate movement that's so near and dear to me. We don't want to rob the fans of a good time, when it comes to going to a professional wrestling show. So that's all I can do. Every day my feet touch the ground, I know someone is counting on me to let loose in the ring and be that beacon of hope. At the end of the day, I want people to see me on the big screen or on social media and say, well, if you can do it, so can I. So I have to continue to be an inspiration with all this craziness going on in the world.
And you definitely are. And like another match you have coming up very soon on April 15th is that Capitol Collision against Juice Robinson. How important is this match going into it for you guys? Because I know there's a lot of beef going on between y'all.
I did my thing as a tag team wrestler with Titus. I did my thing as a Nexus member, but winning the Strong Openweight Championship, it was my biggest highlight of my career. The first one, probably winning the tag team titles. The second, winning my first ever major singles championship. And Juice Robinson kind of took that away from me. And I'm going to be calm, cool, and collected in this interview because I'm a professional. But he did something that devastated me. He ruined my first title run. So since he did that, I'm going to ruin everything that evolves around him. And he talks about being a man. He's not a man. Does Tony Storm think he's a man for doing what he did to me? Come on. And he talks about, being rock hard. I'm going to show him what rock hard is all about, and he's not going to like it come Capitol Collision.
You said in a promo that you would fly out Tony Storm for the match. What airline we talking about? American, Southwest?
Spirit. So she can play. So she has to pay for every little thing. But no, I'm just joking. I want to be able to personally, take care of the bill, first class flight, 5-star hotel, 5-star restaurant, wine and dine, until she gets front row seat at Capitol Collision. And who knows if she's going to show up? She probably won't show up, but it's my open invitation so she can sit front row and watch me punish her husband.
Amazing, amazing. I want to get your thoughts on something as well, because I've interviewed Ryback before a few months ago, and I asked him what was like his funniest Nexus story. So I wanted to see what was your funniest Nexus story as well.
Well, there's many, but one that I can think of is, it's competitive between all of us at the time. We're young, we're hungry, and we want to be number one. So, very competitive. So what would I do? I wanted to be a little bit taller than some of the wrestlers. So I got lifts on my boots, pretty big ones that I didn't tell anyone about. And one time when we were causing havoc at a live event, we had to, sneak in and ruin a match. And I remember running to ringside, and as soon as I got to the ring, I hit the pad and my ankle just buckled. So I didn't say anything to anyone. And when we were all in the locker room, I remember Wade Barrett looking down at my boots, and he said, "Darren," because he's got that accent, "Darren, do you have lifts on your boots?" And I said, "How did you know, man? How did you know?" And he's like, "They're like the size of Kane," because Kane does have lifts on his boots. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Wade caught me. So for me, we have plenty of funny stories, but that's probably one of them that all the guys are laughing at me because I got lifts on my boots, so I can look a little bit taller than some of the guys. So yeah, you live and you learn, but that was the last time I wore those boots.
Hilarious. Recently you mentioned on Twitter how like impactful Jon Moxley was in your New Japan like Strong championship win. It was like recently after his comments back towards CM Punk. How important has Jon Moxley been in your career so far, and like what advice did he give leading into that big title victory?
He knows what he did, and I know what he did. Again, I'm like a magician. I don't want to let all the secrets out, but he was he was a big piece of the puzzle that I needed to have one of the best matches of my career. And we go back from WWE days. And I always say about Moxley, he's a type of guy that, we're very cordial, hi and bye, and chit chat a little bit, but he's the type of guy, I don't drink anymore, but if I was in a bar type situation and I saw him getting into a fight, I would go back to back with him and be right there for him. So Moxley's a tremendous guy. He's actually one guy I hope I can wrestle someday. He's a dream match of mine. I know that we could have a banger. I remember when I got released, and maybe I got released from WWE in 2017, and after that, one of the WrestleManias, WrestleMania weekend, the independent wrestling shows all over the place. And, after my release, I couldn't get any work. And the only work I could get the only offer I got was to do a death match. And I said, "Are you kidding me? A death match? It's just not my style."
Yeah.
But I said, if I'm going to do a death match with anyone, it's going to be with Moxley. That's the only way that I would do it.
Of course. And like getting to these last two questions, obviously Forbidden Door is coming up very soon with AEW. If you had a chance to be on that card, who in AEW, maybe besides Jon Moxley, I guess, would you want to face on that show?
I think, I think I'd love to work Daniel Bryan because, with New Japan, I've been doing some of my best work. And again, wrestling, I don't want to let the cat out the bag, but I love using the analogy at the NJPW Academy that I'm coaching at too. Wrestling's like ice cream, just different flavors. You might like Rocky Road. I might like cookies and cream, but at the end of the day, it's all ice cream. And With WWE, a lot of my work was a sprint, very fast. But with New Japan, I've been able to hone my craft. I've been able to take my time and just wrestle and have the best performances that I could. And I believe with Daniel Bryan, we could have a great match together.
Amazing, amazing. My final question for you, Fred, is what's the difference between Fred Rosser and Darren Young?
Yeah, Darren Young was very, very shy, he wasn't himself, Fred Rosser, Mr. No Days Off, right now, my government name that I'm so proudly using is creating some awesome content. I do more than just wrestle. I give back to the community. On top of the wrestling, I'm always speaking to kids all over the U.S. and the world about the effects of bullying. So, Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser, he's all over the place. I always say my fight is much more bigger than in the ring. It's outside of the ring, fighting bigotry and hatred, and at the end of the day, trying to be the voice of the voiceless when it comes to anyone that gets bullied into silence. So Darren Young, very shy and all that stuff. Mr. No Days Off, is what he is. Mr. No Days Off, the constant grind and struggle of life, and that's what it's all about. It's just not a gimmick. It's a way of life, and I encourage everyone to have that no days off lifestyle. For me, mental health is so important, and it's something that is not addressed a lot, and that's something that I address with the students at NJPW Academy here in LA. That you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before assisting others. I say the next time you guys go flying, listen to the flight attendant. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first before assisting others. So important.
Amazing, amazing. It really sounds like you actually do have no days off. When's the last time you had an off day? Can I ask that?
There's no such thing as an off day. It's a recovery day. Sunday might be a recovery day. But I'm always active. There's a saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, So I've gotta do some type of functional training, yoga to stay loose. I'm 39, I'll be 40 this year. So like they say, black don't crack, but what looks good on the outside might not be so good on the inside. So I've got to always take care of my body.
And we're going to see you in action very soon. Impact and New Japan Multiverse United. It's going to be on Fight TV. We're also going to see you at Capitol Collision. It's going to be on Fight TV as well. Fred Rosser, thanks so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. You had such a great run and championship reign as New Japan Strong Openweight Champion. I'm excited to see you possibly get that title back again very soon, very soon.
Thank you. I always say I'm not the most talented, but where I succeed is my ridiculous, sickening work ethic. And that's what it's all about. And that's something that I preach to everyone at NJPW Academy. I can go on, but I've got more interviews to do. But thank you for giving me the time to share my story. I always say, don't die with the story in you. And regardless, support all wrestling.
You got it here first. Fred Rosser. My name is Muscleman Malcolm, and we're out.